Breaking tonight, Mark Carney just told Donald Trump a joke at the FIFA World Cup draw. Trump kept coming back to it all night. And what happened reveals exactly why one leader earns respect while the other demands it. Tensions were building in Washington's largest venue tonight. The FIFA 2026 World Cup draw ceremony brought together three co-hosting nations, but instead of diplomatic pleasantries, the room witnessed a masterclass in authentic leadership. And yes, Donald Trump was watching every moment. Everyone believed this would be standard ceremonial duty. International media expected polished speeches and rehearsed interactions. Political observers assumed Trump's presence would dominate the evening's narrative. They were all utterly incorrect. Washington, D.C., December the 5th, 2025. Standing on the FIFA World Cup draw stage, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney made an entrance that electrified the arena. If Canada's global position is evolving, the world will see it demonstrated, not just described, starting immediately. Translation: Ottawa just showed Washington that Canadian confidence isn't performative, it's earned. And what happened next reveals exactly why Carney's approach to international leadership is reshaping North American dynamics while traditional power plays lose their effectiveness. The hall filled with world leaders, celebrated athletes, and international press corps. Mexico, the United States, and Canada sharing co-hosting responsibilities. A rare diplomatic moment where sports, politics, and global attention converged. And Carney walked directly into the center of it all. Watch what happened. Before the draw even began, Carney established the evening's tone with precision. His opening remarks weren't scripted diplomatic language. They were authentic, grounded, powerful. He spoke about Canadian children's passion for football, about 2/3 of Canada watching the last World Cup, about 200 nationalities living in Canada, matching FIFA's 200 member nations, about the top 48 teams coming to North America for the biggest sporting event ever staged. This was Carney operating in his natural element. Unifying message, global perspective, values-driven narrative, no bombast, no exaggeration, just confidence, backed by substance. It's the number one sport for Canadian boys and girls, Carney explained to FIFA President Gianni Infantino. 2/3 of the country watched the last World Cup, and we are partnered with the United States and Mexico, welcoming the world. There's more than 200 nationalities in Canada, more than 200 nationalities in FIFA. The top 48 are coming to North America. It is going to be the biggest deal ever. Notice the difference. While some leaders measure success through dominance, Carney framed Canada's role through inclusion. While others seek attention through volume, Carney commanded respect through authenticity. The contrast wasn't subtle. Then came the draw itself. Carney stepped forward, cool and composed, reaching into the bowl to select Canada's group placement. The ball emerged. Canada. The room erupted. Carney's smile was genuine, his satisfaction visible. For that moment, he wasn't the economist, wasn't the prime minister, wasn't the policy strategist. He was simply a Canadian celebrating with the world. That clip alone will resonate across Canadian households for months, because it captured something rare in modern politics, authentic joy unburdened by calculation. But the real revelation came afterward. During the post-draw reception, Carney addressed reporters and guests with a speech that blended humor, history, athletic passion, and diplomatic grace. He began by joking about Vancouver weather, interacted warmly with First Nations representatives, acknowledged border state governors and international partners. This wasn't stiff protocol. This was Carney demonstrating how modern leadership actually functions. "This weather represents our climate," Carney laughed, referencing Washington's rain. "It will not be like this in June in Vancouver. Don't worry, it'll be raining in Vancouver." The room responded with genuine laughter. Mayor Sims appreciated the humor. Carney continued acknowledging Squamish Nation and Tsleil-Waututh Nation representatives, Mississippi of the Credit, Secretary Burgum, Olympic gold medalist Haley Wickenheiser. Every acknowledgement served dual purposes: recognition and relationship building. Carney wasn't checking diplomatic boxes. He was strengthening connections naturally. Dear viewers, what happened next deserves careful attention, because this moment revealed exactly why Carney's leadership style consistently outmaneuvers traditional political approaches. Standing just feet from Donald Trump, Carney told a revealing story about their interaction during the draw. When Paraguay's name emerged, placed initially in the U.S. group, Carney had reassured Trump not to worry. "They're good, but don't worry," Carney explained. Then the FIFA rules kicked in, moving Paraguay exactly where Carney had warned. Trump kept returning to that prediction throughout the evening. The humor wasn't at Trump's expense. The story wasn't aggressive, but the subtext was unmistakable. Carney understands how these systems work. He reads situations accurately, he predicts outcomes correctly, and he does it all without needing to dominate the conversation. The president sometimes gets something in his mind and kept coming back to that as we were going on, Carney noted with diplomatic understatement. Gianni Infantino reportedly didn't find the joke as amusing as everyone else. Translation: while Trump operates through force of personality, Carney operates through competence and preparation. While one demands attention, the other earns respect. The contrast couldn't have been clearer to everyone watching. Then Carney pivoted seamlessly, from humor to depth, from light-hearted banter to profound meaning. He spoke about the beautiful game bringing the world together, about shared values and peace, about unity, and yes, about winning. There is an element of winning, Carney acknowledged with characteristic honesty. He recognized Wayne Gretzky in attendance, calling him the ultimate winner in my lifetime. He celebrated Canada's new coach, Jesse Marsch, formerly one of America's greatest soccer players, now dedicating himself to Canadian success. You will find no fiercer patriot than Jesse, a Canadian patriot, to be clear. Every word reinforced the same message. Canada welcomes talent. Canada celebrates excellence. Canada builds partnerships based on mutual respect rather than transactional demands. But Carney saved his most powerful moment for last, the story of the Halifax explosion and Boston's response. December 6, 1917. A steamship loaded with explosives collided with another vessel in Halifax Harbor, the largest non-nuclear explosion ever witnessed. 2,000 people killed instantly, hundreds more injured, many blinded by shattered glass. And before Ottawa could respond, Boston mobilized. The people of Boston responded, Carney recounted. They got a train, doctors, nurses, medical supplies, food, and they made it to Halifax to begin the rebuilding and treat the wounded. That's friendship. Unsolicited outpouring. Since that moment, Nova Scotia has sent Boston a Christmas tree every year. Tonight's tree from the Dongs family farm in Lunenburg County represented over a century of gratitude. The holidays bring into perspective the ties that we have, Carney concluded. The ties of families, the ties across borders, the ties of friendship, and the common values that we share. In a room filled with political power and athletic celebrity, Carney grounded the entire evening in humanity, in enduring relationships, in values that transcend borders and survive generations. This wasn't diplomatic performance. This was leadership. According to the draw results, Canada will host Qatar, Switzerland, and a team to be determined from the playoff brackets, possibly Italy, Wales, Northern Ireland, or Bosnia. Carney expressed genuine enthusiasm for each possibility. Whoever shows up, they're going to be fantastic, and we look forward to welcoming everyone. He finished where he began, with pride. It's a moment of great pride for me as Prime Minister on behalf of the mayors of Toronto and Vancouver, absolutely exceptional world-class cities that are hosting. It's a moment of pride for us to be in the World Cup. It's a moment of pride to be welcoming the world. And it's a moment of pride and really joy to be sharing this experience, tonight's experience and the World Cup experience, with our dear neighbors, Mexico and the United States. Now consider what actually happened in Washington tonight. This wasn't just Mark Carney attending a ceremonial event. This was Canada demonstrating on a global stage exactly what modern leadership looks like when it's grounded in authenticity rather than performance, in competence rather than bluster, in relationships rather than transactions. The international media noticed. The diplomatic corps noticed. The athletes noticed. And yes, Trump certainly noticed. Because while some leaders work constantly to command attention, others earn respect naturally by being genuinely excellent at what they do. Carney didn't need to dominate the room. He didn't need aggressive rhetoric or confrontational posturing. He simply showed up prepared, confident, knowledgeable, warm, and completely comfortable representing Canadian values on a global stage. And that, in itself, sent a message far more powerful than any speech could deliver. This matters beyond tonight's ceremony, because when 48 nations arrive in North America for the 2026 World Cup, they'll remember this evening. They'll remember Carney's welcome. They'll remember Canada's approach. They'll compare it to what they experience elsewhere. And increasingly, that comparison favors Ottawa over WA, Shington, not through hostile competition, but through demonstrated excellence. not by diminishing neighbors, but by elevating standards. Not through force, but through competence. The pattern is becoming unmistakable in trade negotiations, in diplomatic forums, in international sporting events. Canada, under Carney's leadership, operates with growing confidence. Not defensive nationalism, not aggressive isolationism, but calm, capable, values-driven leadership that consistently earns respect rather than demanding it. If you're watching this channel, you already understand that global dynamics are shifting faster than traditional media acknowledges. You already recognize that Canada's strategic position is strengthening while others stumble through chaos. Tonight's FIFA draw ceremony provided one more data point in that larger pattern. Mark Carney walked into Washington, stood on a global stage alongside world leaders, represented Canada with grace and competence, told stories that highlighted Canadian values, and walked out having elevated our nation's reputation even further, all while Donald Trump watched from a few feet away. That's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's leadership. Subscribe to Canada Next if you want to keep tracking these moments when the world notices what we've been saying all along. Canada is rising, and the evidence appears almost daily now for anyone paying attention. Tell us in the comments. Did Carney's FIFA performance surprise you? Or have you been expecting exactly this level of confident Canadian leadership on the global stage? Your insights help this community grow stronger, and every comment proves that more people are recognizing what's actually happening in North American geopolitics right now.